Good afternoon. This is Pleiadian Star Healer, bringing you the new moon pick a crystal reading for tomorrow's September 17th new moon. I'm going to be doing a spread here that will tell you what you need to focus on during this new moon, what you need to let go of, and what is the next step you should consider. So take a moment to, do some conscious breathing and pick the crystal that calls to you the most. We have rainbow moonstone, rose quartz, and selenite. You can pick one or you can pick all. Just pick whichever calls to you the most in whichever order. Okay, so now we're going to start with the rainbow moonstone. Okay, so let's see here. So for those who picked this beautiful crystal here, one of my favorites. I mean, I love crystals all in general, but one of my favorites. So, if you picked the rainbow moonstone, what is it that you need to focus on this new moon? And the first card we have is inner strength. This is the Seven of Wands. So this is about inner strength, courage, accessing your inner light, standing up for what you believe in, standing up for yourself, pushing past, fear and overwhelming feelings. So if you find that you've been having a really hard time emotionally, this is what you should be focusing on this new moon, and that's accessing your inner light, your inner determination, that fire that you hold within you. So now, what do you need to let go of? And we have the Five of Cups. So this could be grief, disappointment, bottled up emotions. If you've been, suppressing all the things that's been happening to you, basically just emptying your cups, because you have the cups here, and sometimes our cups could get too full, and it just starts to pour out, So during this new moon, it's recommended to let go of all those emotions that you have bottled up. Perhaps even letting go of expectations that you have on yourself. Perhaps you're being too hard on yourself and saying, oh, I should have been doing this by this time already. I'm at this age and I should have been doing, maybe get a degree, or I should be having kids, or I should be married. Letting go of those expectations, and also the expectations of others, because sometimes, which I'm guilty of. I mean, maybe not as bad as before, but I used to have really, really big expectations on people. So if you're like that, you probably have to let go of your expectations for others, and make sure that really from you is that maybe people can never do enough for you, okay? And you can also find that connections are probably falling apart. So you're probably grieving and really, really disappointed in people and just society and just people in general, So this is the emotions and the things you need to let go of this new moon, of all those negative feelings, and just breathe through them and just let them pour out, because you have the cups. So let these emotions pour out, right? So what is the next step you should consider? And we have the Six of Pentacles, and this is growth, accepting things for what they are. Part of the grieving process is learning to accept that it is what it is, and people come in and out of our lives. People are come free, forever. Some people are just for a season or temporary, and they're all just lessons, right? Because everyone teaches you something, because every relationship in your life, whether it's partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, friendships, family, they are all lessons. They contribute to your experience. So, this is what you need to consider, taking everything you've learned and how can you apply it to your growth. Also helping yourself, you know, looking out for help, seeking help to help yourself, perhaps even helping others, you know, because it comes almost like a full rotation, you know. In order to get, you need to give, right? So you probably help others, being open to prosperity, being generous, you know. And if someone does come to help you, I know that especially if you go through a lot, you tend to want to do everything by yourself. But if you do find that there's people who want to help you, you know, learn to accept that. Learn to accept, you know, the help, right? So that's Rainbow Moonstone. That's the advice for the Rainbow Moonstone. Okay, so we're going to send here. These are your cards. Now we're going to continue to the Rose Quartz. So, for those who picked the Rose Quartz, it's a beautiful stone here. Let's see what we got here. So, what do you need to focus on this new moon? And we have the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful card. This is about happy home, healthy environment, you know, focusing on perhaps making a healthier environment. If it's toxic, stability, maybe employment, looking for a more stable job, stable relationship, enjoying life, you know, and living life at its fullest potential, you know, living life as much as you can. So that's what you need to focus on this new moon. Building healthy connections, healthy environment, perhaps even physically, you know, creating a healthy vessel where your soul can live in. Okay, so perhaps you're not feeling well, you know, so this could be that you need to really take care of your body more so it can be healthy and happy, and everything, even health contributes to your emotions, you know, so you want to keep yourself happy, and sometimes we also need to care about our physical well-being. So what do you need to let go of? And you have Judgment. So perhaps you're very judgmental, you know, you probably like to point fingers or jumping to conclusions, you know, getting triggered very easily, and just looking to point or shame others. Perhaps there's resentment and the inability to forgive. Perhaps there's even self-blame, you know, self-imposed limitations, you know, pettiness, and even fear. So you need to let go of these things, you know, things that are creating a blockage to, that's the first card, you know, living a happy, stable life, whether that's within yourself or with others. So if you're in a relationship, you know, perhaps there's too many, you know, finger pointing and judgments being thrown around, and so this is what you need to let go of. And then we have, what is your next step that you should consider? And we have the Lovers. So for relationship, you know, this could be strengthening the relationship, really, instead of saying, oh, it's you versus me, it's us versus the problem, you know, perhaps if you're single, perhaps, you know, like love of self, you know, as I was saying before, with the healthy body and happiness, perhaps you need to recover from illness, you know, taking care of yourself, working things out, perhaps with work, finding something that you really, really love to do, you know, and also being grateful, you know, and this is about, and if you've been feeling disconnected, you know, this is about reconnecting with yourself and creating like that good, peaceful environment, as you see with the card, with the first card, you know, just cutting out all toxic, you know, vibrations and things that are no good for you, right? So those are the cards for the Rose Quartz. Okay, so now we're gonna go to Selenite. So this is Selenite, one of my favorites too. I've been using this one more recently. Look at that sheen, beautiful, right? So let's see what Selenite has to tell us. So then we have the Six of Cups. So what you need to focus on is memories of joy, love, positivity, because if you see you have the rainbows here in the roots, perhaps this is even inner child healing. You probably need to do more work in that, probably making more friends, making new friends, being more selective on the people you allow in your life, getting rid of old friends that are toxic and branching out and making new connections. Perhaps there may be old friends that you might find that they might come back into your life. So of course, if they're, positive, rekindling, that's always a good thing. Getting grounded, see the roots in the earth, and just growing, getting grounded emotionally and mentally, right? And strengthening your body, because everything is connected. You have the cups, the emotions, so strengthening groundedness, because you could be feeling a little unstable emotionally or mentally, probably having a hard time. So we definitely need to focus on grounding and on the good things, I'm not saying to ignore the negative, because that is not good for you either. But also, there are times that we do need to think positive. We need to look towards the light and the good things that contribute to our wellness, right? So what do you need to let go of? And we have the Eight of Cups. So you see you have the broken glass. Okay, so this is stagnation, because the mountain is in your way. So letting go of the stagnation, moving on from relationships, employment, taking back your health, and basically knowing when to quit and move on, because society tends to look down on people who quit. But, it is okay to quit things that are no good for you. And it's okay to quit something and try something new, because perhaps that new path will be something more lucrative, something that will actually work. Sometimes we get so caught up in, it has to be this and it has to be the way you want it, because we have to control everything that happens, and sometimes we do need to let go and just let the broken glass be, and just walk away from this, because you don't want to get cut, because sometimes we get so caught up in what we want, then we don't realize that we're walking on broken glass. So it's okay to quit things that are no good for you, or things that are not working, So what do you need to focus on? And we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is basically, taking up a new skill, because this takes skill to build, a very intricate web, right? Perhaps finding a new job, a new passion, something that brings you back to life, something that ignites that inner passion, self-mastery, perhaps emotionally, are you self-mastering your emotions, are you just letting all your emotions run free, are you letting other people control your emotions, are you participating or reacting to everything that happens around you, so think about that. Consider, what do you need to do? Or becoming good at something, seek out something else. Because perhaps that new path, as I was saying before, it could be something that is worthwhile, something that can actually bring, prosperity, happiness, something that you can actually benefit from, So think about those things. What are you holding on to? So these are your cards for the new moon, for the Selenite. So that is the end of the reading. I hope that it resonated. And please feel free to subscribe. I'm going to leave my information down in the description box, with my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel for those who I'm going to be posting this on, another platform. And I will hope to do this every month for the new moon, and possibly even the full moon. So you guys take care and really think about the messages that you picked for this new moon and actually putting them into action. Have a great afternoon and a happy new moon as well. Bye-bye.